We did like a little
Yo, that shit.
And that shit was hard. That shit was hard as fuck.
That's the time we met. The first time was over by the smoke shop.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Look at the time, guys. Perfect time to start. Welcome to the journey. Thank you for joining me today.
My name is Courtney Elijah Campbell, owner of Almighty Skate Shop.
My name is Adrian, but I go by DEADX-C. You feel me? Artist, producer, designer, extraordinaire. You feel me?
I'm a designer, so I design and I also run a store. I'm into clothes, music, art.
The fly shit.
Fly shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. You want to go first, Corey? You want me to go first?
I'm 36.
I'm 27, about to be 28.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm 25, just since we're telling our ages.
On the 27th, I'm about to be 28. Matter of fact, it's
really?
November, yeah. Same day as Bruce Lee and Jimi Hendrix.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I was born in Riverside, California.
Riverside?
In Inglewood, California. Precisely.
Hey, you have some stories for me, bro.
Inglewood always.
Hey. You must have some stories for me, and I'm so.
All right, so my mom so where I lived at on 130, like how like it was dangerous, like motherfucker. My mom was like, you can't go outside. I didn't even go to school over there. I had to like catch a bus somewhere and go. I went to school like towards like Santa Monica and shit, like in Marina Del Rey area and shit, like elementary school, middle school. So I had friends on the block and I would kick with the motherfuckers, but I couldn't really kick it with the motherfuckers type shit, like, you know, like. Yeah, like you better be inside their house. You don't be kicking it outside. Y'all not playing around front. And I gotta know their mama type. Like my mom was on some. I gotta have their mama number, and I know their daddy. I gotta be able to go all of that. So
I grew up outside of LA, kind of suburbs, but I grew up with everything. Like we grew up with like every color, every kind of person. Whether they hooped, whether they played football, skated, rapped, a lot of hustlers. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah, it's popping out there too.
Yeah, no, it's definitely popping out there, and. You know, here and there I would get into my little shit, but I stayed in sports a lot, so that kept me away from a lot of shit that I would have been into until I got older.
Yeah.
I had one of them moments, my boy. I had that moment.
Yeah?
Yeah, bro. And I was probably like, I can't remember exactly what age, but it was when Kanye West was dropping Graduation.
That's like 09, maybe 2010.
Yeah, bro. And he like outsold 50 Cent. Like, you know, because 50 Cent was like my favorite rapper at the time, and I was really on some like street shit, but I was also heavy into Kanye, like, you know, and on some fly shit. But when that happened, I was like, man, so you don't have to be a gang member, bro. Like, it's like, you know, like you could just be a fly ass cool motherfucker, bro. And that's when I really like stepped into being me, who I am. So it's like, all right, for sure, that was that moment.
Yeah, I remember being like a little kid with my family. You know what I mean? I don't know the moment when I was like.
Well, what's the most fun memory you can remember of that time, the earliest like time growing up?
Playing basketball in a little hoop that I had at the house with me and my brother, like spending time with like my brother and my family. Yeah.
My earliest memory, honestly, it's crazy because I keep having like dreams about, not recently, but I had a couple dreams about this shit. I had to like talk to my mom about it. I always had this dream where it's like I was with like my mom and my dad, but my mom was chopping it up with Ice Cube.
Yo, my dad.
Yo.
Ice Cube. I used to always think he was Ice Cube when I was
Yo, hey, kid you not? And I brought it up to my mom, and she was like, "Oh yeah, oh shit, yeah, that really happened." Because she really knew the motherfuckers, like, you know, because she really is from Chicago, but she been in the city like just from a young ass age, so she really knew O'Shea and the motherfuckers who was literally in front of this nigga's mom's house. And I had the whole visuals, like the little triangle-shaped trees and the pink house. But that shit was a reoccurring dream. I told my mom, she was like, yeah, that shit really happened. You was like 2 years old.
Remember that shit? That's crazy. I remember my dad lived in Santa Monica. That's like, I would come out there to visit him. And back at that time, Chronic 2000, or the Chronic first one was hot. And for some reason, I remember someone tried to break into his car and they went down there and whooped his ass. The first memories I remember of my dad. It's crazy. They broke into his shit and the alarm was going off. And I think he was like just coming home from the club and he like walked up on him.
All right, caught him.
And caught him.
Caught him, wrong moment.
Yeah, but like I just remember being a kid rolling around listening to Dr. Dre, The Chronic at like 6 years old.
Yeah, Almighty.
Almighty.
What's the part? Talk.
Almighty skate shop.
Mine's a skate shop that was put in downtown at the time. There wasn't nothing down here that was basically providing this type of service to the community.
The vibe.
And yeah, the vibe, like the style. Like there was no skate shops really. You had to go to Little Tokyo. Like downtown there was nothing, and then we just came with some style and brought it into the community and doing our thing ever since. Man, so I grew up, Southern California. We pretty much all have the same style, no matter really where you're from. So I grew up in like Dickies and Levi's and white tees, and then like the Pharrell era came through, and that kind of changed everything. Where we was like, they were wearing stuff that we wanted to wear, but the way we wore our clothes, it didn't equate. So we had to change it to smaller shit that, looked right. And I feel like Pharrell, with his complete opposite style of what was in at that time, is the reason the world it is today in any type of fashion sense. Even before Kanye, because Kanye's was still baggy. Kanye's was still where Pharrell was wearing like real fitted shit from the jump, trucker hats from the jump, like shit that you wouldn't expect in hip hop music. And then him and then to Nigo, Nigo with the being I'm not gonna say Nigo. There's an owner called named Jonas. He owned LRG, and he was like at the time for me like the dopest dude because he was a walk-in style that everybody was trying to have. You know what I mean? So
Okay, it was like the Dapper Dan of LA.
You could say that.
I honestly just wanted to be comfortable. Like I just be getting shit that's like comfortable, and then like colors, like coordination and colors. Like that's pretty much.
Comfort is.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck about clothes at first. Like for a long time in my life, so I turned probably like 15. Then I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get fly for real, and I gotta take care of my clothes. Cause I always had nice clothes, but I'll fuck them up like really like. My mom be pissed. Like I spent all this money on these damn shoes, and man, it's only been a week. I'm like, goddamn Jordans. I'm like, I didn't even ask for Jordans. I wanted some Vans.
Yeah, when I was that's all I had growing up was Vans. My mom was like a single mom, so she would go to the Vans outlet and get Vans for like $15, $20 and shit like that.
Vans is pretty synonymous with skating.
And California, bro, especially out here.
That's what I want.
How did you guys get into skating?
I want to go back though. When I was in middle school, I just remember this. It was this dude that moved to my school from Brooklyn, and at that time, like, I didn't know a lot about brands, shoes, nothing like that. Like I would wear basketball shoes, whatever basketball player was out, like my mom. But he came with some Uptowns for the first time I seen him in my life in person, and that shit just like blew my mind, I asked him what they was. He was like Uptown, so I'm like asking everybody what Uptowns are. We don't call them that in California. We call them Air Forces. So none of the stores knew what I was talking about. Finally, one day, walked into a Foot Locker that had him, and that was like epic. But he had that New York style that kind of like I've been interested in and like motivated by it my whole life. I mean, when I was growing up, everybody skated. So we was either riding bikes or we was skateboarding, and it'd be like 10 of us, 15 of us. I always rode bikes. I was too big to be on skateboards, and I didn't want to get hurt. I'm gonna be, honest. But all my friends, man, my best friend growing up playing ball, we played baseball, basketball together. He always skated, him and his older brothers. So when we would be kicking it, everybody would be skating, and that's when I first started watching skate videos and just knowing about it. And then I really got into it, like I said, with TK, Ice Cream, Pharrell, all that shit. Diamond Supply Co. was like changed the game for me. So, it's been different times, but skateboarding's always been something that I've been around.
For me, it's like, all right, so on my block, I had a friend, and this motherfucker, I guess him and his older brother already been like skating or whatever, but they had new Stevie Williams. I guess he lived somewhere else in the neighborhood, and that's before I even knew anything about fucking skating. And I guess they gave him like a couple skateboards, and that motherfucker gave me a skateboard, and I was a Baker skateboard, like when like the OGs, just the black and white Baker with the little stamp shit. That was like the first board I had, and I just started skating with them motherfuckers, and I just never like put it down until I got older. Like, nah, I ain't really trying to do all that, get hurt. But you know, to get around every now and then, that shit's still cool. Like show exercise, but that shit too dangerous. It's like, you know.
Word.
And Robin Big, growing up watching Robin Big, that was my shit.
What?
Like I love skateboarding a lot just because of that show. Like
fucking Tony Hawk American Wasteland.
Then we go back to the video games. You know, growing up playing fucking all the skateboard games. Like, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Like it was a Thrasher game at one point that was out.
And motherfuckers was skating spots in LA that motherfucker we knew as like children. So it's like, bruh, we're naturally gonna get into skating.
I was like, we loved Muska based off that video game. Like his board, everything. Like that game was fire.
That's kind of a tough one because kind of every day I get like a product, like, you know, I be like, you know what, I made it. I'm like, you know what, hey, it's a lot of people that didn't. Like, you know, a lot of motherfuckers I know that's either locked up or like, you know, buried. So it's like every day is like, all right, for sure, it's another opportunity. I really did this. I'm still breathing. Let's get it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know,
cause
disregard the accomplishments because that shit,
right.
You accomplish shit on the regular.
Like certain things are proud of, but as you get older, you feel how insignificant those things were.
Yeah.
So proudest moment is, you know, just being
healthy,
being alive, being smart enough to make the right decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of just proud of, you know, who you are at the time.
Exactly.
What's been your scariest one?
These are some
yeah.
I've been at parties that we've been shot at. Like that's a scary moment. Yeah. Yo, when you're growing up out in Southern California, you're gonna go to some house parties and gonna get shot at. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like I done probably been at least 10 growing up. So
what's the craziest?
You feel me? By the 10th one, it's just another.
It gets
party.
normal. It just gets normal.
Crazy. Like by the 8th and 9th and 10th, like damn, they shot this one up again.
It's the regular.
What's the next party? Wow. Yeah. So I mean, but the first one is crazy. You know?
So yeah, I want to know that experience.
Bro, it was so long ago, but I'm sure. Like I remember jumping over fences, like losing shoes. I'm telling you, like it's
You gotta shake the spot.
That was in like almost by Inglewood. Yeah, jumped over the fence, like no closer than me, probably a little closer than me, further than me and you. Fight breaks out, next thing you know, shots going off, and you just gone. You know what I mean? Like praying.
Look, honestly, my scariest moment is probably I was like 15 and I had two homies, bro, and we was doing some hood rat ass shit. These motherfuckers, and it's crazy because I was new to it. I just moved to Lancaster. I get into this big ass apartment complex. You got like 4 pools, like 4 gyms. It's big as hell, my guy. And these motherfuckers I'm kicking it with, they like, hey, let's go throw some rockstar cars. And I'm like, all right, my dumb ass. So we go walk around the complex, go to the exit. These motherfuckers throwing rockstar cars. I started throwing rockstar cars. These motherfuckers hit one car specific.
It was a cop?
Nah, it was just like a black neon tinted windows. That's when I started learning about sketchy cars and like shit like that, like, you know, cause it's like, bro, that car was sketchy to begin with. But this motherfucker hit the motherfucking car and that motherfucker Loki tried to like pull off after us, right? But it was already going the other direction. We had to hit a U-turn. We just cut back through the fucking complex. That motherfucker ended up pulling around there. As we walk into the little wiener schnitzel to get food, this motherfucker pulls up on us, bro. And he's like, y'all, I hit my bitch's car. And he hopped out with his pistol, bro. And literally with his pistol like pulled out and shit, bro. I was like, oh, this nigga about to shoot us over these. I was so hot because I didn't even throw the fucking rock. I didn't even throw the fucking rock. I didn't even throw it. The nigga that threw it, my nigga was like, I apologize. And he was already up in niggas' faces by then. But then he realized we was all just kids. And he was like, oh, man.
Right.
Y'all gotta come apologize to him. And he made us walk all the way from like Wiener Schnitzel to the complex to his apartment and apologize to his girlfriend.
Damn, I would have needed some money for the shit.
Hey, it didn't do no damage. He was just like mad about it. Like nothing cracked. It was nothing. But the nigga. But the fact this nigga had the pistol draw, I was the first time I had a gun put on me. I was a kid. I was like, hold on, man, this nigga is tripping. I was like, yo, this could be a rap right now because this motherfucker threw a rock. Should have stayed at home.
I got the guns put on me by cops when we was kids. We was walking down the MLK parade.
Oh man.
Get out of here.
MLK parade, bro, and they pulled up on me and like two of my friends thought we was selling drugs out there.
Get out of here.
I promise you, we was probably 17, 16, but like, you know, we look like money. They like, what is these motherfuckers doing over here?
Mm-hmm.
Put us
That's
over,
suspect.
like searched us, everything, bro. I don't know, it was crazy.
Yeah.
All type of shit. Not really country music.
I don't listen to country, but if a good country songs come on, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like turn that shit off.
I don't have like a country fan, but I'm pretty much open to a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like we can't go through this interview and not say, you know, at least RIP Takeoff, you know.
Yeah, I'm not much of like Amigo fan, but RIP to Takeoff because that motherfucker was an artist.
Me neither, you know, but like nobody deserves to
Yeah, not like that.
You know, there's different speculations talking about how you left. You know, there's different stuff on YouTube.
Listen, life is life, and it should be appreciated. Like, you know, respected as
Talking
such.
about rolling dice. Y'all, you ever roll dice? You ever gamble?
Yeah, that was every day at lunch.
I was back in the days. I got out the system in like the playground. Like,
What's that like? What's that environment like? 'Cause personally,
What environment?
like what's
gambling?
What's like rolling dice like?
Oh, bro, I was rolling dice in high school for lunch money.
and it wasn't like on the block in the hood.
Yeah, I wasn't in the hood.
I wasn't doing that shit in the
I
hood.
mean, it is what it is. You got people drinking alcohol, liquor till 4 in the morning with guns on them, and they losing money. Shit's gonna happen. That's just so it is what it is.
It's a bad mix.
Unfortunately.
Like a setup.
Yeah.
Like you set yourself up.
I mean,
You might get out, you might not. The biggest L I ever took was when I got my my first laptop got stolen. Like, you know, and not even stolen. It was because like, all right, so I had a backpack with my laptop over at this chick's like big ass fucking. She had a big ass like venue, bruh. And she wanted us to like run that shit and throw like little parties. At first we was like repairing shit, building shit up or whatever. But she had got into it with one of my homies because it was like 4 of us that was helping her with the whole thing. But she was growing weed and these niggas stole her weed plants. Mind you, I didn't know shit. I was literally out this fucking state at the time, like in fucking Minnesota or something, bruh. I come back, all my shit, my backpack's fucking going with my laptop. And she's like, fuck all y'all motherfuckers stole my weed. I was like, I wasn't even out here. And then she was like, oh, my bad. But by that time, it was like days after that. Like, I didn't even know about this shit till I had got back to the city. And I was like, yo, I had so much music. Like, so much, like, for years, like, probably like 6 years worth of, like, yo, like.
Yeah, go first.
the goal is just to continue on with what we started here, opening a second location, either in California or another state. And just keep moving forward, progress each day.
For that, like, other than just getting better with my music, shit getting more unique, more creative with it. I actually have a homie who's a boxer, and I'm starting to be a promoter for it, so I'm trying to get into that area of like booking or get matchmaking or whatever you would call it. Getting him a little sponsor, maybe like boxing management, sports, whatever you call that.
Sports management.
Yeah, so other than the music and et cetera, I'm trying to dabble into that.
What inspires you to keep on that track? What's your inspiration?
Just my passion and the passion of the people like around me, because it's like for example the boxer I'm talking about, my boy Ray is like one of my closest friends. That motherfucker is like, boxing is really his passion. You could tell that like as soon as you talk to him about that, that's all he does. Like, he be smoking a blunt. Then he trains all damn day, get out the fucking gym still. It's like, all right, brother, that's your shit. Like how I feel about the beats, that's how you feel about that shit. So I can respect. Like, bro, this motherfucker designed down to all this shit up in here. That's passion right there, bro. So it's like shit like that. It's like, all right, for sure. I'm not the only motherfucker that feel some way about something.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of motherfuckers don't feel no way about anything. They just do their like regular life shit.
That's beautiful, though. Sort of like feeding off, the inspiration. So what inspires you?
Just not having things accomplished that I want done. Always having new things that I still haven't reached yet, and that keeps me from feeling accomplished. And without accomplishment, you don't finish. You know what I mean? So we gotta
reach the peak.
Yeah, knocking things off the list that we want to get done, so we can finally get to that point where now we need to start something different, do something different because we've accomplished what we need to. Phone, keys, wallet.
weed, leaf, and the fucking Bob Marley's. Honestly, I could leave without the phone.
You ain't wrong, bro. Yeah, I can't hate on that. I cannot hate on that.
How long you been doing these interviews?
Pardon?
How long you been doing interviews?
This is the second one.
Okay.
Flip the script.
This is the second one.
When the interviewer gets interviewed.
Second one.
It's
So,
like,
I see you. I see you. I see you.
well, especially like LA music, I feel like it's kind of like the same sound that's actually popping, but in comparison to what's going on in New York right now, it's like you know, at first I feel like New York had it, like, you know, and I don't know what the fuck going on right now, but I feel like LA pretty much took it. But at the end, even then, there's the motherfuckers from the South that's doing better than both. So it's like, you know, hey man, it could be better. It could be better. Let me just say that.
I don't know, some of the music is like, it's all personal,
subjective,
you know what I mean? So like, some stuff is good, some stuff ain't, but I feel like that's how it always was. We just were fed such a small number of songs that we had to like all of them that was popping at a certain era. Now there's so much music out. Yeah, a lot of shit gonna be trash. It's a lot more out there. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier to get it out there.
Find some better
shit. Same with anything. Clothes, if it's 100 donut stores, it's gonna be more of them that got trash donuts. All because there's a formula to win. So everybody follows that formula to try to get to it, you know what I mean? There's a certain style, sound, look, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And people that aren't on that alignment don't get the same.
Don't get the shine.
Don't get as much of it. Or even if they do, their music will be liked by like a certain few that's not ready to accept outside of what the ideal artist should be like.
It could be better. And to bounce off where Corey just said, it's like what Ye was saying, bro. Like what Ye was saying about the motherfuckers controlling the media and only feeding motherfuckers a certain thing and making their money off of that. Like, rap has a big part to do with it. Like
right now, if a Kanye West college dropout rapper came out, he would have no chance.
Really?
He would have no chance.
Because it's motherfuckers like that.
I don't know if it's like that, but we don't know because he's not gonna get the attention because he don't fit the bill.
So you think?
I still listen to Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I still listen to Biggie, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the youth is doing, they're doing it because that's how they feel at the time. Just like how when we were.
So for KRS-One, the new incarnation of KRS-One,
he would have his cult. He would have his cult following, but he wouldn't be because at that time that's the music people were listening to. You feel me? Like at the Kanye era, Pharrell had been changing music already a little bit than Kanye.
Everybody's more open.
You know, people was a little more open to it. You know what I mean? Like now, when complete like kids basically operate how music sounds, it's gonna go to whatever direction they want it to, and they're gonna be happy with it. But that's fine. Like, let the kids' music should be the kids' music.
Yeah.
So, how long have you lived in LA?
Like 10.
My whole life. Yeah. I started here.
Oh yeah. So
I mean, I was a kid coming to Santa Monica to see my family, but I was living in Riverside area.
It's de-evolved.
How was it involved? Does it change? Does it change better?
Yeah, other than the fact that like COVID made a lot of people like leave LA and
tourism.
Yeah, cut down a lot of events, everything that was like popping, like all the reasons people was really coming out here.
So wait, you're telling me that
COVID
is usually more packed than it is, right?
Like before COVID, yeah, for sure. Downtown was crazy. Like it was a lot more people that lived down here. It was a lot more like youth down here. More travel. People travel more into downtown now. You know the news and everything. People.
They're staying away from downtown, man. Like what?
So how has this block changed since in the past 6 years?
Yeah, well, I wasn't really on this block.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
But let's say like on like 7th Street block.
Changed because my school moved right here.
Yeah, honestly, was no young people really coming over here.
Was it more quiet? Was it
Nah, it's downtown. It's always been
a little noise.
A place like this. The only difference is, like I said, it's not as many tourists in downtown as it used to be. People just come down here on vacations. They not vacationing in LA right now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's mostly because of COVID, no?
COVID in the streets, like, you know, it's crazy in the streets. Motherfuckers getting robbed and shot and all type of etc.
Yo, what's up with that?
But that's always been.
Yeah, that's the regular.
It's been on the TV now and scaring people. That's not like we've
Broad daylight though.
We've always known LA to be what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, you know, the only difference is they kind of taking it up to Hollywood and shit a little more frequently. But
like somebody's gonna get caught for them.
Look, man. When the whole country goes into a recession and people are hungry for stuff, that's the type of things that happen, unfortunately.
How did COVID affect you?
I shut down my store. I had to shut down my store for like 6 months.
What was that like?
It was difficult, but I mean, I had no choice, I had no option. So it was a lot of time at home, planning, you know, spending time, trying to figure out when we was gonna get back to business, and learning, reading, just getting shit going.
Honestly, it didn't really affect me. It's like
Except for not having a store open, but still doing business.
Yeah, certain shit that is like, all right, yeah. But for the most part, it's like I'm doing the same damn shit. I mean, I had a job for the longest, but the motherfuckers fired me. The motherfuckers fired me at the end of COVID, so it's not really like, oh yeah, COVID affected my job. So it's like, it's like.
COVID payout was amazing, bro, when it was paying people. I love that.
Man, that's one thing that I wish I could have been on. Like I missed out on a lot of that. I missed out on damn near all of that money, man. I probably cashed like one stimulus check that I seen. I didn't.
We was doing great business during that time.
What?
Loving it.
Motherfucker just coming through spending shit, getting fly real quick. Yeah, you could tell it's a recession now.
Yeah, no, you can tell now it's not what it should be.
They ain't getting fly like that no more.
Trying to get some lunch. You know what I mean? Like, it's what it is.
Gotta feed the kids.
Retweet that.
Yo,
You smoke weed?
Oh yeah, a heavy marijuana.
The weed culture, because you know you guys have been in LA enough to have been here when weed was illegal.
Yeah, we're still smoking gas outside.
we was illegal. I didn't remember that. Smoking
Technically, when we how do you think the industry has changed? The weed industry has changed from that time to now. Do you think it's changed for good? Do you think, and what are the good parts actually?
Good and bad.
Or, you know, the good and bad.
I think it's for the worst, honestly. Like, you know, I feel like like to reference like Good Burger. Remember that movie Good Burger? Mm-hmm. Like at first the weed was like the restaurant Good Burger, but now the weed is like Mondo Burger.
I don't even know what that is.
Like, you know,
Mondo Burger.
But all right, so listen.
Oh yeah.
So it was the big fucking. They was injecting all the shits and whatever the fucking doing all it, and they burgers is big as hell, and everybody was loving that shit. It's like that shit to where it's like, all right.
So like the dispensary weed ain't good? Is that what you're saying?
No. Dispensary weed isn't.
Goodness.
But it's like
it's more just the way
that is produced. Like, you
produced and the cost, like
that too.
You know,
That's whacking motherfuckers up ahead at Mondo Burger, I'm sure.
Take money out the streets with dispensaries because you know they gotta.
Well, I'm hearing dispensaries is hurting right now, though.
Yeah, that's why they lowering their prices.
Yeah, they lowering prices.
But even then, that still comes back to like the weed itself, because all right, I'd rather get my weed from the streets. I got plenty of people from the streets I could pick up, like, you know.
Well, why is dispensaries hurting right now? Because people ain't got money to spend?
No,
that's probably exactly why.
You know, some dispensaries are talking about, you know, not too many people come in. Just like you said.
Coming to the streets.
Yeah, because if I could get it off the homie, I'm going to buy it off the homie first.
Yeah.
And then you go to dispensaries and a lot of them, you know, they have they're higher priced. You know what I mean? Because they got to pay their taxes and all that shit.
What can a dispensary do?
But when you're from out of town, a dispensary is great if you don't know who to tap in with. So that's why I said it's good and bad, because if you're not from LA and you want to smoke some weed,
you ain't got to risk it.
You ain't got to risk it.
It's a safe bet, you get some weed.
But if you're from here and you hustle, then dispensary is going to be more competition.
What can a dispensary do to get you in the door?
What kind?
What can a dispensary do to get
the homie ain't answering the phone?
Yeah. Or shout out Kush Factory. Shout out Kush Factory because they be hooking it up fat. They got the half ounces for half ounces for 60 of this stupid. That shit you be paying fucking 45, 50 an eighth. You could literally, man, I done sold that shit for 40 an eighth after I done picked it up. And I was like, all right, and I done got damn near half ounce for $40.
I just always had friends who sold weed, so I never really gave dispensaries. I went and got some today though, cause
emergency.
Like I said, they don't answer, and then you go to the dispensary. But I always grew up with
the plugs.
My friends were the ones who was supplying hobbies. I spend my time trying to learn different crafts, really. Whether it's real estate, whether it's crypto, whether it's investing, whether it's art. Just try to spend my time doing.
You got money in crypto?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Well, how would you evaluate this market right now?
Yo, I'm just terrible right now. But not the whole economy, so that's going right. It's all equivalent, whatever the word is, where it's all the same.
I like researching shit,
I love researching shit.
Yeah, fucking.
A lot of times just looking into religion, especially.
Metaphysics and shit.
Yeah, religion. You guys, would you consider yourself religious?
Got my own religion.
Historian?
Yeah, because I want to know the history.
Philosopher.
I want to know the truth, not the stories we got told. I feel like it's a lot of people coming to that point now because we were just raised to have a mind of our own more than other generations before us. So now we
question.
We questioning what you're telling us now. We're not just taking it for what it is out of fear anymore. You gotta show us what it is.
Tell me the Carfax.
And I think that's a big reason this Jewish debate with Kanye and Kyrie is really starting to unfold because it's a whole generation of kids. It's we not just falling for the movie no more. Show us the money. Where's it at? So we can see it for ourselves.
Would you consider yourself spiritual though?
Yeah, of course.
How would you define spiritual?
Definitely.
How would you define that?
Spiritual understanding that there's a higher power and there's some energy that there's multiple energies, but everything is based off of those energies, right? So good energy, bad energy, happy, sad, and you are as a spirit can be any of those at any time. It's all in you.
Yeah, I felt
religion is a book. My bad. Or you follow the customs that are set by people who were set by people that you didn't know, or who you just following in line.
All right, let's start with how we define religion. I feel like religion is a thing for a system for people that need to believe, or want more to believe, and spirituality is more. I guess you could say it's a belief if you don't know, but it's more of a knowing type thing than a believing type thing. Because you can sit there and believe that door is open, but it's fucking closed. But if you know that door is closed, but you can open it, that I feel like that has a little bit more weight to it, and that's more.
And religion is great for people. It's not a bad thing. Religion is great. It keeps people's hopes up. It keeps people
something to believe in.
It's a great thing to have, but I think we just questioning where it's coming from, who's giving the religion and the history. That's what we want to know.
Yeah, because I feel like you can have that faith organically. That faith within yourself, but it's not even that faith, it's that knowing.
I've had that conversation, I don't need a book to tell me when I need to eat or how I need to feel, and this ain't against, like I said, religion. If you believe in all of that, it's great, but it just seems very weird how it's all set up, and we have to read a book of something that we should just know.
Yeah, it's some innate shit. We all know right from wrong, damn. You're supposed to be out here hitting people, killing people, and stealing and whatever the hell. So it's
Yeah, so I don't. What kind of consciousness is just, and this is just based off what I've learned and found is most religions are based off another religion is based on another religion. They based on another religion. And it's just stories recreated. So to feel like one is right and the other is wrong when the similarities are so glaringly similar. You know, that makes me think that, you know, that's a way to teach people a way of living rather than to of believing in something that or knowing of spiritual life. You know what I mean? Like, it's more of like doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
I think each religion, you know, it all could have started from something, but those stories could also just be life lessons. You know what I mean? That people can learn from. So I feel you gotta take it how you take it. If you believe in it, absolutely. You know what I mean? But
I don't know if it's like the same for everybody, but for me personally, mine is based off like love. It's based off love, understanding, and acceptance. Like, you know, appreciate it. Like that's like those three things right there: love, understanding, and acceptance. Because once you love yourself, like to damn near the full capacity, it's easy to love others. And once you understand yourself and accept yourself, it's much easier to understand and accept other motherfuckers, whether it be through flaws or like, you know, perfections. Like when you don't understand, that's when you get upset. Like, if that makes sense, that's cause like confusion. Like, all right, if this motherfucker came and hit me in my face, I'd not be pissed. Like, what the fuck wrong with you? But if I knew this motherfucker for like a year, and we look, you been like, all right, man, you know, it's like, all right, now I understand why you would swing on me right now, but I'm still gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah.
But I'm not pissed off about, like, you know, I understand. We've been at this coming. I'm not surprised about it.
Because, just like you said, you know, like some people don't back up on their understanding.
Mm-hmm. But then the accepting is a big part of it too, because you can understand a lot, like, you know, but you don't have to accept everything. And so that's like the big thing about it with me, because it's like I try to make it so I understand. I make it easy for myself to understand anything in every situation. But the accepting part is like, I don't have to deal with this shit. Or I don't have to believe in this shit. It's okay for you to do, but I don't have to accept it. But I understand why you do, but I don't have to.
I think it's like this. Like, if we naturally found out 3 + 3 equals 6, we might question it. But if it's written in a book that says 3 + 3 equals 6, then we'll believe it, right? So it's kind of like the Bible is a history book to show you like this is wrong because the Bible says, like, it's in the past, this is what is written about things that are wrong, so you know when you do things right how to deal with situations, because you could go to the Bible and it'll tell you in our history this is a way to fix whatever issue that you're dealing with, right? So it's the history of our world. It's showing us everything that has happened, will happen, you know, anything possible.
I saw this thing. I remember my mom had showed me, as a matter of fact, I think I was probably like 12 or something, and it was on YouTube. My mom had showed me this video on YouTube, and the dude was talking about how the slaves that were captured and actually taken from Africa, like a lot of them motherfuckers are like jumping off the boat into the ocean because they were more spiritual beings than like, you know, than most, and they understood, like, man, you ain't about to just torture me, I'm gonna live again.
Yeah.
I jump off this mud.
In the afterlife?
Nah.
Oh, there's a scene about exactly what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
There's
That's some real. That's real.
God, it's a spider god that appeared in one of the boats, the ships, and released one of the people, you know, and talked to them, spoke to them about how powerful they are, and they ended up burning the whole ship.
With them on it.
With them on it. Like, fuck, yeah, they burned out the whole.
That's crazy.
That's crazy that you know, and there's an actual African folktale about that.
That's the thing. That's why. That's why I know about that. I heard that too before. But that's crazy. Was that on Netflix or something?
It's on. They discontinued it, but I got it off.
Damn.
That's how you know. That's how you know.
Yeah,
man, not to bounce back to but that's how you know he don't be lying, bro.
Canceled the shit.
They canceled the guys, boy. They're talking about the African guys. They canceling them. They like, it's like, get this shit out of here. You talking too much.
But that leads me to the.
I downloaded that. I didn't download. I bought that history documentary that Kyrie was talking about and checked it out. That shit was crazy.
I haven't checked.
What's
that
Kyrie
out.
talking about?
It's called Hebrews to Negroes,
Oh man,
and it was like a documentary on Amazon. That's why he got fined and all that shit. He got suspended over reposting it. They were saying it was anti-Semitic because he posted it because it was saying that the Jews of today are not the Jews of the Bible.
which is facts.
And they broke it down through the whole video, like.
And that's the weird part.
They broke it down like from where these people lived at this time in the Bible to this, like everything about it. So they still said it.
But they claiming that title though.
That's even my
But that's even another thing. He can't even have his own
Opinion.
He can't even have his own. Like, damn! I just wanted to post a video that you can't even like something that goes against what the agenda is. Like, if you do, you gotta keep it to yourself.
You get canceled, bro. Hey, all right. So my opinion on that is that there's a fraction of the people on Earth who are like actually like humans, like like full blown humans, like But then there's the ones that are like conscious humans, which is like your consciousness probably came from somewhere else, my guy. Like it's not from here. It's like you came here for the human experience. That's why life be getting irritating or feeling weird to you and all type of other little shit. Cause other motherfuckers just be going about it like regular, like don't have no opinions, don't be doing it like a blank little slate.
Yeah,
that shit weird. So those people get in that reincarnation process, but when you're aware and don't have the will to reincarnate, you probably don't.
I don't know. That's the ultimate level of peace, right?
Yeah.
Peace, acceptance, love, all that. Shed the ego.
Wow.
You can shed the physical.
If you were able to reach that state, would you entertain the rest of the ignorant people in the world?
I feel it's your job to come back and tell them what's possible. Tell them, that's how the story of the Bible was written, because people came back and told the story of whatever it was. That's the story of life. We gotta tell what has been untold so that we can move forward as beings. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of people that don't want to tell. They want to keep that shit just to them and they and themselves.
Gatekeep the secrets.
And that slows down the growth of the world.
I feel like it's not a secret, honestly.
What's your cheat code?
What else I'm gonna do? You gotta get up and do it.
There you go. That's the perfect. What else I'm gonna do?
That's all it is. What are we gonna do if we're not doing something that we like and something we want to do?
I gotta do me.
There ain't no other options. You know what I mean? Even if it's hard, there's no other options. Or you just go, do what you gotta do. I ain't trying to do that. We always gotta do what we gotta do, but you know what I mean? Like, you rather be doing what you wanna do.
So make what you want to do, what you gotta do.
Find a way, figure it out. If you gotta read about it, if you gotta watch videos about it, if you gotta spend 50,000 hours to get to it, get to it. It's overdone.
It's overdone, and people have too much pride.
It's overdone because everybody does it, right? So to stand out, you're not standing out by having just because it's different jewelry. Obviously, when you're an entertainer, your image on the stage is everything, so that shit is mandatory for that. But I think at a time when like jewelry was just changing from like the basic shit that they would have to like
regular Cuban links and shit.
That was the best era when you seen like Nego coming through with those like BBC chains and like
ice cream, spaceman shit.
That was like hella dope. Now it's just like real random stuff. Like when 50 got into it, when he started doing his like spinning piece. That might have been a downward flop. They was wearing them ugly ass like 10 rope bracelets on the wrist.
Spinning watches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not good.
But yeah, I mean, fuck it, if you like jewelry, like jewelry.
Yeah, do your thing. But I was saying it was like motherfuckers had too much pride because you ain't gotta die over that shit.
Well, you just gotta be smart.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say not smart, but
listen, if you getting money and you got a fucking 100K on your neck and a nigga catch you without no strap, you might just give it up, bro, because you can get another one. You getting money. Now, after you spent your last money on that chain, that was a bad idea. Now you in a weird situation. And you still, pretty much you can still get some more money. you know, you ain't gonna die over that shit. Like, nah, you can have that chain. How I feel about it,
Then
bro.
at the end of the day, that makes the robbery hella easy.
Even then, but that's what it is. If you got caught lacking, bro, that's literally what it's like. Checkmate. It's like you can't argue with a nigga that put 3 X's in a row when you only got 2 circles right here. You didn't have your last circle on you. It's like, you know, that nigga won, bro. It's literally like rock, paper, scissors type shit. It's like, bro,
But
all right, you got me.
But no other culture does that shit. We gotta talk about that. No other culture does that shit.
Man,
I'm
motherfuckers hunt themselves. Motherfuckers hunt their own self, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like when we hunt ourselves, like no other. You go into Indian culture, you go into like I can't speak for every other culture because I haven't traveled the world. Maybe they do that shit to each other in other countries, but America, we gotta stop that. That's this genocide. Oh, I hear kids listening to it. I don't hear myself listen to it at all. You know what I mean? Like.
I hear a bunch of jibber jabber, but the thing is, the energy's there. The energy that makes it turn up a boost. Like, bro, I could turn up to this shit. If I'm in a party and that shit song is gonna be lit, so it's like, all right.
We can't expect the stories that we got from Nas and Jay, kids who didn't grow up. That's Nas and Jay grew up. You can't, bro. Like they grew up. Even in their hard times, it wasn't the same as how them was. You know, 2 very different times. Even Eminem, like. You can't expect kids to have that pain and hunger in them like that. Like,
nah, it's a different life.
It's a different life, you know. Kids that's living bad got fucking
straps. Man, they got guns. Like, don't try to make yourself easier to digest for everybody else. Like, you know, like keep building on that complexity. 'Cause I feel like I had to like. Not necessarily like dumb myself down, but like, you know, steer in a kind of different direction so other motherfuckers can really understand what I'm doing music wise. Like, you know, to be more like, okay, now this I could turn up to this and still understand what he's saying versus like, damn, I gotta really sit down in my car or with headphones on and like listen to this shit. Cause like motherfuckers don't wanna just like, oh, listen to every bar for bar, just wanna like hear the vibe, make sure the beat is good and like, you know, you said a couple cool things in the fucking track that they could remember. So it's like, just
life is about timing. You know what I mean? Everything's gotta align. You gotta align yourself with what you want, so the right time can come to elevate to where you're trying to get to.
Hey, you wanna know a crazy story? Listen, it's not the answer to that, but one time I was probably like 19. And I was getting on the bus. I was getting on the bus about to go back home. I was like on Broadway, hopping on the 45. And I hopped on the bus and seen a nigga that looked exactly like me to the point where I didn't believe that I was myself. Like, I was like, if I'm sitting right there, how the fuck am I looking at myself? And I literally walked back off the fuck. I looked at that motherfucker for like 3-4 seconds. Then I was like, nah, I just hopped back off the bus. Like, you know, cause I was really into like time travel and string. I'm like, bro, if I interact with this motherfucker, I might destroy the whole timeline right now. Type shit. Like, you know, so it's like I can't even be right here in this same spot right now. This is not supposed to happen. Like, you know. So if that was to happen and I woke up and the motherfucker was in my pad, I'll have to dip. I'm like, no, I can't talk to you, my bro. It's gonna be over for everybody if I say. Man, I kid you not, I was spazzing. Bro, I was spazzing though. But I was like, yo, it's no way I could be right there looking at me right.
And not even.
That nigga was sitting there all the way in the back of the bus in the middle in the middle seat right there.
Right where you was headed to.
Nigga always sit in the back of the bus bro, I saw this motherfucker back there and I was like, nah, it's no way I'm right here looking at me.
That's crazy.
It was like third person on the game and you zoomed out hella far. I was like, man, this shit weird. Before I did any acid or anything, I was like, what?
Yeah, alright, so what would you expect him to say? Say he is able to calm you down and explain to you that it's 10 years from the future. Well, what were some things some questions you were asking, like, some things you want to know about?
I'd be like, how could I do it sooner? Like, how could I, like, you know, because I know you know when it's going to happen, when I'm fucking, like, you know, when the success is going to be like, okay, boom. When, like, everything that I want is going to start happening how I want it to happen, but when and how could I make it happen sooner?
All right.
That's a good question. But you couldn't change it. Shit. Nah, man, that takes away the joy of finding it.
Never in the moment.
I'm alive You know what I'm saying? I guess I asked him, you know, do we got kids and shit, but that's
We got kids. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'll take it. All right. I appreciate you guys' time. I ain't gonna hold you guys for too much longer. Yeah, I want you to let us know there's a camera right there, there's a camera right here, there's a camera right there. Let us know what's going on with you right now. Where can we find you? And what's up?
Yo, so going on for me right now, working on new products for the store. You can find us at Almighty Los Angeles, almightylosangeles.com. And just working, man, staying busy, staying healthy.
Yeah, y'all can find me at CULT.SCA on IG, Apple Music, all that. DEADX-C, matter of fact, DEADX-SCA all together. For me, a lot of new, like, cool little music stuff coming out, like different little genres or whatever. You know, I'm branching out. So yeah, a couple videos, etc. A lot of cool stuff coming soon.